Good evening, Speed Gaming. Welcome to Fast Friday in the ALTTP Randomizer Daily Race Series. We have, appropriately enough, a fast mode that we haven't shown in a bit. Open 6-6 fast Ganon. So you only need 6 crystals to make Ganon vulnerable. It also opens GT, but the Ganon hole will be open anyway, so you shouldn't need to go into GT unless it's for a sword. So should be a relatively quick mode here. We are featuring today Azure, Immortal Koi, Windfox, and Mindium, but we actually have 10 racers total, so there are 6 more off screen. I'm Drossi. I will be joined momentarily by Scupula, who's just getting set up here. But we are getting underway very shortly here. And here we go. Everyone taking the Lynx House start and getting a big 20. Our top 2 runners immediately out of there as our bottom 2 runners do Uncle Routing. And another big 20 at Sanctuary. So wherever you start, there's a big 20. And we get our first map check. That looked like all crystals in the light world, including a 5-6 at Eastern. As we find yet more big 20s, that's the only item we've gotten so far. And bombs at Uncle Chest. That's pretty nice because now we know we can start at Sank, go to Kakariko, and we'll have bombs. But it turns out the bush crab is giving out bombs as well, as Azure is discovering. So either way, we're going to be good for bombs. And I just missed what that was at Lumberjack. And I'm joined by Scupula. Welcome.
Hello. Is the pig dead yet?
What?
Is the pig dead yet?
I mean, it is Fast Friday. Yeah. Oh, wow. Hammer in Dam for Mindium there. I'm sure all the other runners will get to it in due time.
5-6 on Eastern, crystals all around the rest of the way, so...
Yep, and of course, shout-outs to our trackers, Maddie, Walkherd, and Jinxie Girl. Really great to actually get 2 trackers tonight so that we can restream 4 runners here.
You were going to ask me something, probably forgot though, sorry.
Oh, just if you happened to catch what was on Lumberjack. I think Azure's the only one who actually checked it.
I just popped in, sorry.
Yeah. Koi, finding a bottle in Blind Thought, that's nice since you can immediately check Sick Kid while you're in CAC.
Yep, so now I saw a hammer get found in the dam. Whoever that was didn't do CAC yet, right? Right,
Mine DM is doing the whole CAC skip thing, and now he's at Aegina. All of our other runners have found their way to Blind's Hut.
Because if powder shows up, that's one other thing you can take out once you get there, but...
Yeah, what's in the back of the well here? Another... This is like the big 20 seed.
Mm-hmm.
With a few bombs to spice things up. Ooh, and
Not that we hate the bombs whenever we're in Kakariko, but...
Yeah, more relevantly, there's a shield and a glove in the well. So our runners who are in CAC are all getting those right around at the same time. Looks like Bottle Vendor just sold us a red meringue for $100.
Well, with that glove, you could see some clowny business. Go to the mountain, use that boomerang to nav your way around.
Well, Mountain's a bit more attractive, especially since we now have the hammer. It's more attractive if we can find either the mirror or the hook shot.
Mm-hmm. Hence, Clowny.
Oh, and Stick Kid gives us our first sword, so that bottle and blind set was really useful.
I'm sure you mentioned already we're not going to see Ganon's Tower today, unless that's our only sword by that point.
And Moon Pearl's sitting right there in the back of Tavern, so we have an awful lot of stuff we've gotten in Sphere 1 today.
In fact, that's no mode for Dark World, I guess.
Yeah, and Mind DM will be getting it shortly by the time he finishes CAC, and I imagine our other 3 runners will be down at the dam before too long. Wonder if any of them will go from, like, dam to Hype Cave just because it's right there.
I could see it.
And so far, no one really wants that blue mail on Race Game.
Yeah, it's good on them, because if I was in this, I'd be taking it. I have this innate fear of Master Sword Ganon from the get-go, so...
And it looks like Immortal Koi will be our first runner with Dark World access here, as Ashter's our first runner to check the back of Escape.
Yep, somewhere between 1 and 3 checks, and it's not something you want to leave here if it turns out to be anything good, but not so much. Good.
Yeah, just the Bloomerang, and he's not gonna break logic to go to Dark Cross in the dark.
Submerged Heart there for Immortal Koi, and I do Mini Moldorm and then turn around and do Hype Cave. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we didn't have a huge reaction to getting Dark World access. Mind DM's about to get Dark World access as he goes to the back of the tavern after Sick Kid.
We're seeing Dark Cross from Windfox here, I think.
Yeah, as Immortal Koi gives us our first look at Mini Moldorm Cave, which has Bombos in it.
Find that torch, walk over about a third of a second or so.
And Ashter's really doing the comprehensive escape play here. This may actually be part of why he didn't do Dark Cross, because if you're planning to do the front of escape anyway, and Windfox demonstrates it, so Ashter will know by process of elimination that Dark Cross is the map and he won't go there at all.
It works out sometimes. So here comes Hype Cave in Immortal Koi's very blue world, Dark World.
Yeah, quite the palette shuffle. And Mind DM is grabbing that blue mail, the only one of our runners to do so.
300 from the NPC and a bow, so fairly hype already.
Yeah, that puts us pretty close to Zora money, though we are going to have to pay Kiki as well. Actually, I don't think we've seen a Dark World check yet. We don't yet know whether... There we go.
Yeah, there it is. Got a green on Ice Palace. We got the other 2 pendants at Thieves Town and Mire, and the other 5, 6s at Skullwoods.
So Pod is a regular pendant, so we will definitely need to pay Kiki at some point. And honestly, with the bow and a hammer, I imagine... Ooh, that was a nice find in Zelda's cell for Ashter there.
Yeah, a little bit of mixed feelings on that. You see the step there, like, oh, I can warp out instead of Death Warp. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Oh wait, it's just the map, no need. But yeah, that'll be a huge help to Ashdar when he goes into the Dark World. And in fact, it wouldn't surprise me if once he gets the hammer here, he combines light and dark south checks.
And if there's these pendant dips required with Skullwoods and Thieves Town, we can speed those up immensely.
Yeah, I mean that's quite the play for him. And in addition, that mirror is 100% required. Swamps. Well, no, not necessarily. Swamp could be the dungeon we skip. We only need to get 6 out of 7 crystals.
Yeah, so I like this mode. I guess I felt more like talking about it tonight. But you get to a point, like, instead of thinking about your go mode as you normally would, you start thinking about which crystal you can ignore. So we'll see which one it ends up being. It might be different for the runners, but...
And I just missed what was in Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, I was darting around. I saw somebody in there, but...
And I believe all of our runners have their Dark World accessed by now. Immortal Koi being the first into the Dark World is the only runner giving us new checks at the moment.
Yeah,
But
it's nice having this hammer and bow ready to go. I was going to say, pod is usually not too big of a deal, even early, but got surprised by the mimic there.
well, and given pod routing, that's yet another place where Windfox and Ashdar will definitely benefit from having the mirror. You know what's interesting? We might not need the mitts to beat this seed if TR is the crystal we skip.
That's a good point. It does lock out some overworld stuff, but it's possible, yeah.
Yeah, we can already do Eastern Pod and Hera if the big key isn't vanilla. We don't have a fire source. If the big key is vanilla and we don't have a hook shot to Hera Pot.
So yeah, we're short on at least 3 items to get into TR. I was going to say Swamp is something that we still need 2 items for, but it is only 2.
Yeah, if those flippers show up, then you really have to start wondering about Swamp.
Mortal Koi just turning up. I guess I didn't see much else but keys so far.
Yeah, I think he has literally gotten 4 keys so far, so if there are any items in the front of Pod, they're on the bow-locked side. Is he skipping the...
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering as we speak.
Just going straight for the back? That's a little bit...
Oh, it was just done already. Okay, I thought he might have...
Oh, he did it all. Okay. Oh, so there must have been an item there, and the bug net is the other non-small key item in the front of Pod.
You just hauled back in here real quick after that death, I guess.
Jinxie Girl, our tracker, is saying that the other item was a heart container. And I think this is our first look at Saha's closet as Ashdar finds a Master Sword in there. So we can nearly guarantee the runners will not be going into GT this race.
Yeah, I guess this is where you're going to correct me if I'm wrong, but if the logic allows for GT having items required for some of those crystals, or no, not at 6/6.
Yes, I mean it can force you to get a particular 6 crystals if the items for the 7th are in GT. So flippers could be in GT as long as we have the means to do the other 6 crystals, or ice rod could be in GT as long as we have the means to do the other 6. Though of course flippers and ice rod can't both be in GT.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think with equal requirements across the board is what situation would send somebody in there.
Yeah, some people like a 7/6 setting, which means that GT can't have items for crystal dungeons because you need all 7 crystals to open GT. So in effect, that means that if you have that sort of a mode, you guarantee the runners can choose which 6 crystals they're doing. But here it's possible that GT locks the 7th crystal, so we'll be forced to do a certain 6.
So for the question from Schulerin, a dungeon, especially when you get toward picking which one you want to skip later in a 6/6 setting, maybe about 5 minutes, but the bigger time save is by far GT itself, since we are also running fast Ganon here. We don't be in there, we don't have to open the pyramid hole by way of Aga 2, and GT can be up to 10 minutes.
Yeah, so roughly speaking, this could be up to 15 minutes shorter than a comparable 7/7 seed. Especially if the dungeon we don't clear is like TR, because that takes a while even if you're go moding it. So while we were talking, we've gotten some pretty serious divergence. 3 runners in 3 different crystal dungeons and Mind DM in Village of Outcasts.
I'm about to do a pendant play here for some items, since we are still missing a bunch. It's a fair play.
Yeah, front of Pendant Thieves is a popular play. I'd be surprised if he goes to the back with so many things open to him.
Yeah, we'll see how much he comes up with in the front here. He also does not have the mirror along with Immortal Coil. At least not yet.
Shovel and Thieves, that's interesting.
And I'll say too, with Immortal Coil and Mandy, I'm deep into their agenda here. It's a wonder when they may get that mirror.
Well, Eastern and Thieves have both turned up bottles so far.
Yeah, I'm just seeing bottles flashing all over the screen. I'm like, heck. Like a big key chest had one there, and third chest Thieves, and yeah. So.
And Windfox gets our first actual crystal of the game, though Immortal Coin and Astra are going to be right behind.
So I have to ask, like I always stated, Windfox get both items?
I was wondering the same. It's hard to keep track of 4 runners. If anyone in chat knows whether we have an item firewalked in Hera Basement, please let us know. Okay. Chat is saying that the basement was locking itself. That's always nice. No risk of going in there. You don't see that very often, though, even though it should happen, some portion of the time.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, anything can be anywhere, just about, with a minor restriction or 2 in here, but you swear there's disproportionately an item down there. Or when there's not, it's a map compass.
Right. So Chad asking if we might have to enter GT to get fire. There are seeds where that could happen, but with this crystal layout, we'll need to beat either Skullwoods or TR, so we'll need to get the fire rod for that.
Yeah, I was looking at it real quick as you were mentioning that desert also requires it. So yeah, we're gonna find.
Was that the hook shot in Paradox Cave? It looked hook shot like. It's showing up on the tracker now.
Yep, we will trust. So that's a heck of a place for you. You have to go through.
Yeah, So, yeah, we really need that mirror because the hook shot is definitely mirror locked, as is the Cane of Samaria. And
oh, where's Kane?
So, Kane was also in Paradox Cave.
Oh, jeez. All right.
So that actually means that the mirror is hard required because we will need to beat either Swamp or Thieves, or TR. So we will need either that hookshot or that Kane, if not both.
Yeah, and with that amount of things being behind a mirror, I guess it's not terrible news for those without it because they'll end up there before too long out of lack of options.
Right, if they can't touch most of Death Mountain at all.
My Andium's going to follow in the footsteps of Azure and Immortal Koi here. Going to get the Master Sword and more than likely finish up Eastern. Then start thinking about what's next. Immortal Koi did finish Pod, but of course now I'm lacking of memory as to what, if anything, was super good in there. I don't think much.
I don't think we really got much out of it. I mean, it had a crystal. It had a bug net.
Yeah, bug net, so we can do Aga 2 the cool way. Which, I know we're not going to
Aga 2. We're also not doing Aga 1, I don't think, though. I can't. I'm sure chat would have gone crazy if there were something useful on Lumberjack, so I'm assuming there's nothing useful on Lumberjack, so we're not doing Aga 1.
Mm-hmm. I did a swordless earlier today. Some people here may know that, and we were actually having utility behind a bug net, so it was interesting.
Kinsey Girl Live Tracker saying the other male upgrade was on Lumberjack, so I guess most of these runners are just going to go through the game on green mail.
Yeah, because now I remember, like, Asher, for one, just turned a nose up at it, and I believe you said that he had checked Lumberjack, so that's clearly not expecting to find another one. Unless there's the famed, gold mail. I mean, there's quarter magic. Mortal Koi having a little trouble with the Igors there. See if we can quick kill the Armos. Is in the right spot, so I've got the timing on the start, so it looks all kosher here.
Yeah. Nothing really big in Eastern, just that bottle, though that does make Immortal Koi our first runner to 2 crystals.
Not a bad time for 23 minutes. We'll just see where and if we get hung up on an item to get the last few here.
Honestly, at the rate Windfox is going, by the half-hour mark, he will probably be close to, if not at, 3 crystals.
Yeah, with that Kane being known, I guess we don't know TR's entry requirement. We won't until MITS, however. Would be mean, but the fire rod and the ice rod all showing up before the flippers could happen.
Yeah, and we still don't have access to desert either.
Flute or book, if I'm correct.
Well, and if flute, then also mitts.
Oh, MITS, yeah, as well.
And of course, there's some chance that desert's boots locked as well. I think I did the math, and there's a 3/8 chance that desert is hard boots locked, and another 1/8 chance that it's soft boots locked.
Soft being what, like this? That's the crystal you ignore, or do you mean?
No, like small key on the torch, but not locking the big key.
All right.
So you can finish it if you're willing to not check the right side.
I don't know if I've ever had one like that. Now I got to think, but
I've seen it occasionally. As I say, I think there's a 1 in 8 chance of that happening.
so Azur's dropping the beetle with a helmet for his second crystal.
As Mind DM picks up his first. Oh, and if Immortal Coil's going into the back of Escape, hopefully he'll do the front of Escape after this.
And further hope that he'll do what Azur did and not chase this key.
Yeah, Azur's been playing much longer than these other 3 runners, and it shows in heads-up plays like, oh, if I do front of Escape first, I might not have to even do Dark Cross.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. That's probably something I would do too, honestly. It seems like it's faster to get there, but it's probably in actuality really not. From the back.
But Immortal Koi is going to fish his map out of Dark Cross.
I mean, this might be fine and dandy if the decor shelf there did not lock behind you.
Yeah, can't get to the front from the sewers. And Azur's giving us Pyramid Check, which we have not seen yet. And just another big 20 because, well, we already know this seat's full of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not the most pleasant of things to be doing without boots, but it's probably the most attractive right now to him.
We're going to get a Catfish Zora play. At least I assume Zora as well. Azur certainly has enough to do Splash Delete.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of figuring Azur was doing this on account of, more than just the 2 checks.
That said, he has been using a lot of arrows, so if he wants to do the standard bow and arrow Splash Delete, he'll need to reset the Ancilla slots first by drowning a lot of bombs.
Yeah, that's something I'm not well versed in. I just know that going through Eastern tends to set it off as far as not being able to use it.
Yeah, it has to do with how many arrows you've fired since the last time you saved and quit.
Ow. Shield avoidance fail.
Thinks for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, if you have one, might as well just pick it up, whatever.
So Azur's not doing Ancilla here. And just a vanilla piece of heart on the ledge, so we won't be getting that.
Has anybody done waterfall? I want to say there was, but
I don't think anyone's fake flippered yet.
okay. Yeah, value does go down when things are out of logic, so it's not terrible to skip right now.
And those are some really expensive bombs.
Yeah.
I hope Ashter, uses those bombs carefully given the premium he paid for them.
Yeah, first edition Nakahashi calling them, and the explosive yield reflects that, I think, when we find out just how good they are.
And Ashter's now going to be our second runner on the mountain. He will certainly be happy to see what's there. Does raise a question of whether our logical mountain access is going to be lamp or flute.
Yeah. Since neither one were found up here, it usually goes a long way to answering that question. But I don't know if we saw a spiral cave yet, did we? From after Paradox?
Windfox definitely went through Spiral. I remember seeing that. I mean, he did it before Paradox, actually, because he was up there doing Hera, and then he went down through Spiral and up through Paradox.
Just another one of those unattractive bits without boots. But
meanwhile, Immortal Koi did do the front of Escape, does have his mirror, so now it's just Mind DM who still needs to find his. Oh, we're getting a look at Bumper Ledge. Haven't seen that.
a little Hyrule mirror bomb rendition.
No, it's Immortal Koi's palette shuffle. I thought we were in the dark world because of the colors, but no, we're in the light world, and he's going to the mountain.
Yeah, and you know what? This is maybe a good time for a little anecdote. Especially when I'm running, let's say, inverted or something non-standard as relates to the worlds, I will not use palette shuffle because I will absolutely forget what world I'm in. Sometimes even with a normal mode.
That's totally understandable.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that hook shot nicely helping Windfox in Eastern. He's the only runner who's able to just jump over to the big key like that without going around.
-1 screen transition. Ring it up. Anyway, it's Retread City right at the moment. So once the runners are done with what they are doing, what's left?
Yeah, well, Mind DM will still need to go to Escape.
Yeah.
He's running out of options. Wonder if Windfox will go to Village of Outcasts area. That's my best guess for him. Likewise, Ashter when he finishes this stay on the mountain.
Yeah, coming up with Skullwoods right now. I don't think we've seen it.
Yeah, no one's jumped in there. Of course, only 2 items, and we can't actually finish it. But the Fire Rod could always be vanilla.
Skullwoods is seemingly pretty notorious for some kind of progression. Down goes a chubby worm for Ashter. That'll be crystal number 3.
So halfway to Ganon access.
Pretty comfortable lead, just missing a couple items that some others have, like the Canis Maria. But
I mean, Windfox is only a couple minutes behind, however long it takes him to get from where he is right now to Armos Knights.
yeah, I guess that's true. Early dungeon.
And honestly, Immortal Koi is only a minute or 2 behind Ashter as well.
Screen full of worms and bugs and spaghetti plants. Hyrule's a wild kind of place. But there's 3 for Immortal Koi, and here comes 3 for Windfox, like you mentioned. I had a little trouble with gauging on 4 up restreamer.
So yeah, I guess Windfox is actually, if anything, slightly ahead of Azure, just because he routed the mountain first and the hookshot saved him a little bit of time, though he's like seconds ahead because Azure's going to save and quit after this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they both have to decide what they're doing next. Actually, no, Windfox is giving back the time by, I'm guessing, no, he's in the light world. Where's he going? Oh, back to the dark world? I guess so. But yeah, if he's doing pyramid now, that's why he was slightly ahead. But he's
That was my guess. And there's a sword under the shovel, mind you. I'm coming up with that. Where was that shovel?
Nice. Front of Thieves Town.
Okay.
So that's something useful to get out of Front of Thieves Town, especially since we're not going to GT. It's entirely possible that the last sword and silvers are in GT.
Yeah, having 3 in a mode like this is a luxury. So that's...
Yeah, I mean, tempered silverless, it's quite possible that's as good as you're going to get. So, and that's a huge improvement over Master Silverless.
Mm-hmm. So I dropped out to come in here because today I'm like, I'm not real feeling so comfortable finding the swords because I don't have a real good Master Sword strategy, but it's all good.
And hey, it is making Front of Escape now a piece of cake for Mind DM, and he will finally get his mirror and presumably go up the mountain and do what all our other runners have now done.
So here's Azure in Skullwoods, being that that's about what's left. I guess Graveyard Ledge, but that could be well after this if there's nothing good in here. Well, as we see a green rupee.
Well, that's one item at least that we've now gotten out of the way. Maybe we can get 2 items quickly.
Yeah, cane is nice to do it this when you're going this far and no further. You can just skip the statue and all this Gibdo messing and all that.
It's certainly nice to have that Samaria for, yeah, well, right, you just said, sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm tired. Been a long week, even with the holiday.
I hear you.
And Immortal Koi gave us our first Cave 45 look, and that was just vanilla.
I don't know, even if I come here earlier and I see a green rupee in the first chest, I'm probably still going to do the rest. It's just mean. Asher wants Pinball Room first. I have not seen this.
Yeah. Did he, logically deduce that there was a key there and now he wants to be able to go backwards?
I guess. Because, yeah, he can walk right out now. I don't know. He's got all kind of keys now, but... it's not like Pinball Room is a guaranteed key anymore, unless that's something to do with this mode that I don't know about.
I wouldn't think so, but we've already found enough non-keys. So, yeah, I think the final item is either in the back or the big key's in the back and the final item's in the big chest.
Yeah, I guess just thinking about it now, like Akuash is saying, quick item check. So you go through there, and that's a door that locks behind you. So when you drop down, you can just mirror back and take care of the top. Otherwise, you go to the top, and then you have to walk back down to check it. So.
And here's our first look at Graveyard Ledge.
So I guess that other Skullwood items is in the back. No big key. Can't check the big chest. This is just a piece of art. So where are we going?
No boots, can't do King's Tomb. Astor's already done Catfish, and he doesn't have flippers anyway for going over there, so I guess back to Village.
Yep.
But yeah, where's our progression?
So Tracker with the fill-in, Matt Ewok heard there was an ice rod in the waterfall. We just blew right over here.
Thank you, Matt. Oh yeah, and right, chat remarking that our progression could be back of Thieves. We have not seen that yet, and we're running out of locations.
Yeah, ice rod doesn't do much unless we end up doing TR. But
now I'm starting to wonder if we have like a vanilla mitts.
Yeah, it happens. Just going to clear all this out first. Come up with a big bunch of bupkis. But may well just go straight through Thiefstown. That's a nice choice of routing, if so.
Somehow Astor and Windfox managed to converge on the brewery at exactly the same time.
Ooh, the sync. Briefly.
A lot of vanilla pieces of heart.
So there's Immortal Koi doing the full loop through the 1 rupee Thiefstown.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Astor and Windfox, one or both of them, might go to the back just because they're running out of locations.
Yeah, so I'm kind of expecting it at this point, honestly. That shovel there, he can check when he's done. Because, yeah, coming in here early means, most runners are going to leave finding what they found. And then have to come back later in a case like this where we've been everywhere else and don't have anything.
But Windfox is out of there. So he'll do Dig Came and Shovel and Stumpy, and he'll get a Tempered Sword for his trouble, but it's not progression.
Azure's going. I expected as much.
Yeah, I agree with that decision at this point. Like, for Mind DM, it would have been crazy to do it with so many things still open, but with so few things still open for Azure, it makes total sense.
I could see it from Windfox's perspective, too. I mean, you're in what's supposed to be a quick seed. You want to do, I guess, the easier things to get to.
Yeah, and the shovel check's nearby, and you find that in the front, and so you're hoping that's your progression.
Yeah, the only issue is once that's done, what does he do? Because he can't just go back up.
I mean, is there anything accessible to him besides Thieves at this point? Right, so with chat asking, we should do a recap of the mode for latecomers here. That 6/6 means only 6 crystals to open GT and only 6 crystals to beat Ganon. And fast Ganon means that the pyramid's already open, so we don't need to go to GT.
Yeah, it's left that way in the odd instance that the randomizer fills in, your required swords in GT, and that can happen. So, won't be happening today, and it's not super common anyway. So, an average finish time for like the runners we have in the room today, I'd say is, if it's a bad seed, like an hour and a half, but
Yeah, and probably an average seed would be more like an hour 15. But Astor is now down in Thieves Town basement. I haven't totally been counting. I know there were 2 items in the front. I didn't see what he got in the attic.
Yep, vanilla
Oh
mitts.
boy!
There they be. French.
I was kind of expecting vanilla mitts.
Yeah.
I know those were only French vanilla, not quite vanilla, but so now you do the Smith chain. I'm sure that's what Astor's thinking. He'll probably do dig game first, or maybe no, he's following the last piece of progression he got. He's doing Smith right away.
Yeah, if the attic had anything, well, I guess, or if it didn't have anything, and there's still an item in Thieves Town, well, Asher does not care. Mitts are big. Got all 4, says Jinxie. So, yeah, we're out of there. If Ped is anything in a seed like this, I'd be super surprised, but that at least is quick to get back to.
And Hammerpeg says, shockingly, a big 20.
Haven't seen those yet.
So, really, the only. Since we've already seen Cave 45 and, Dig Spot and Stumpy, the only possibility here is if. Oh, well, that's a good place for powder. You can magic bat right away, so. Hoping that magic bat or purple chest have something.
Yeah, Ezra's having a good time with routing here. You can skip the hammer and mirror through it even if we have the hammer, because after this we're just going to save and quit anyway, and I guess even if we didn't save and quit, we could just walk right down and take the purple chest, but save and quit is probably faster. And there's some.
Yeah, that's a nice find.
So a couple more things open up. The library had a mushroom, as I recall, and then there's bonk rocks.
Right, in King's Tomb. So this game's been heavy on the fetch quests. Shovel turned up a sword. Powder turned up boots. I'm starting to think that mushroom is going to turn up something at the rate we're going.
Yeah, I think we're going to start flooding the chain with stuff here. Purple chest, not part of that today, but so yeah, now I'm seeing 20s everywhere. I knew they were here, but floating. Yeah, okay. Floating on is a fire rod. Yeah, I missed the checks of that when everybody was doing their Spiral Cave to Paradox and all that.
No, they're saying Hylia Island.
Oh, it was a Hylia. Okay. Oh, well.
Yeah, and right, we still don't have desert access. Now that we have the mitts, we just need either the flute or the book.
So is this? Can we call it go -2? We're gonna need flips. We're gonna need a fire rod. 3.
Right, but if we know where the fire rod is, and once we get the flips, we can get it. Then.
Yeah, that's off the board. That's right.
The flips, of course, also put that ice rod in logic.
It does kind of skew to TR, doesn't it?
Okay, so those two boots checks Azure just did, Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb, were nothing, so that makes it increasingly likely that the mushroom is our next progression. Is Azure doing Ice Palace?
Good choice for sure. It's a fair play. He's still got the waterfall to do, so that may come first.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Chat's talking about Dark Death Mountain. At this point, I'd want to see what our logical Death Mountain access is first.
Yeah, we've got Bombos across the board, and it might be all we need, but Azure is applying that as Ice Palace access first with its green pendant, so this could be
Yeah. Like, assuming the mushroom is our progression, which I think it pretty much has to be, is it going to be Flippers, in which case Ice Palace could be our next piece of progression, though Flippers, of course, lead to the Fire Rod, which means we can do Back of Skull Woods as well.
Okay. So I think Azure's seen one too many items of progression in the first chest of Ice Palace.
And Immortal Koi doing something that Azure did not do, and thinking to mirror right after getting those boots and grab that mushroom.
It might have forgot. I don't know. Another little anecdote. Ready? Azure doing that first chest in Ice Palace. It might have just been buying time to think, but I will mention that the man plays SMZ3 a lot, and that happens in SMZ3 with Ice Palace. So it could be a habit from that. I don't know.
That it's common among SMZ3 runners to go into Ice Palace just for the first chest?
I just know in our last bunch of races over the last few months, there has been progression in there. So I don't know if that's just a one-off thought. I know we can ask later, I guess.
So with Windfox grabbing his mitts and Mind DM going back into Thieves Town, he'll be getting his mitts, so all our runners should have their mitts and be able to progress. We did get our fourth bottle in Super Bunny Cave.
Yep, with the red goo, which, probably we don't need, but we are operating on green now still.
Hype Cave's a whole bunch of junk so far. Yep.
The Hype Shot Cave. It's
Oh, did I call it Hype Cave, not Hookshot Cave?
I think so.
Oh. Well, we also find that TR is ether, so we are locked out of that.
Yeah, and that's probably good news, seeing as Azure does not have any rods yet. Doesn't have to dip in there for nothing.
So...
Swamp? No, I can't do swamp.
So without the flippers. I mean, what's Azure doing here? Oh, he... Wait, what?
Go into the Dark World. Maybe he didn't do 45.
Yeah, I guess he did. Right, because he saved and quit with the purple chest. So he never actually came around to do this.
Let's see if he remembers the mushroom.
Yeah, and let's see if Windfox is about to get the mushroom. Meanwhile, Immortal Koi is our first to turn in the mushroom, and it gets cooked into the flippers.
Oh boy. Yeah, you done called that one.
It just seemed like the most logical progression, which also means we still don't know how Death Mountain gets in logic.
So
The answer's probably in the back of Skull Woods.
Deep Pendant, Thieves Town to Library to Smith.
Well, Deep Pendant Thieves Town to Smith for the
Smith.
powder, to
Right.
Magic Bat for the boots, to Library for the mushroom, to Witch for flippers.
Yeah, which is going to point everybody who doesn't already have it at that ice rod. And yeah, still no fire rod.
Right, but
swamp.
Right. Both rods we now know are
oh yeah, keep forgetting.
Are flippers locked. But see, swamp is out of logic without logical mountain access. I mean, the front is in logic, but Argus isn't.
So it's lamp or flute. Got to be down here somewhere, is what you're saying. And,
right, and I think back of Skull Woods is more likely.
Okay, so swamp's out of logic just because of the hook shot, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Now, maybe the flute's sitting here in swamp and the logic was intending a double dip. As Windfox is about to get his flippers and Ashdor is about to do the same.
Fake flippers for flippers.
Easiest way to get there without the flute.
So logic be darned. If we just say to heck with the mountain, how we're supposed to get there. I mean, what do we need besides?
Then we either need the book or the flute to get into desert, or the or ether to get into TR, and we're set. So one way or another, we're one item from no mode.
Okay.
But none of these runners, I don't think, know both rod locations. So if ether were to show up, I don't think that would put any runner in go mode.
I know all four are marked, but who has not checked TR, if we have any idea?
I think Ashdor's the only one who's been to Dark Death Mountain.
Okay.
The others got their mitts too recently, and they all went for the mushroom, which gave them the flippers, and none of them have been to the mountain since then. Oh, that was an interesting Samaria movement as Koi tried to dive her down.
Yeah, I've been doing that lately. I've had it down pat, but then I've been squirting the thing off to the side anymore. So we have all a bunch of swamp going on. Since I'm, of course, starting around, I'm guessing Mortal Koi did not do left side.
Yeah, he did not. And we haven't found anything in the back, which, again, given where the hook shot was, it's hardly surprising we haven't found anything in the back of swamp. You know, given that, I would think the left side is a more attractive play because you don't expect things to be as likely to be in the back.
I don't know. Have we seen a map compass, though? I don't remember seeing either one of those. Those could be the leftovers, if not.
Chat reminding us that Skull Woods is also our second 5/6 crystal. So whereas I was saying I think the answer's in the back of Skull Woods, it is possible that the answer in the back of Skull Woods is simply the fact that it opens Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that's a good point. You go there, you open 3 checks instead of 1. So Koi's out of there. It might be map compass left side. Or
No, because Azure just pulled the map from the compass chest.
all right, okay.
So there's at least one item on the left side. But Azure also going straight back. And Koi is going for his fire rod. Not bothering with the other flippers checks.
Yeah. And as I noticed, he doesn't have a nice rod yet either, so.
Oh, and there was the compass too. Okay, for some reason I had mentally processed that as a piece of heart. So we did find map and compass, so we're leaving 2 items in swamp.
Yeah, there's, I'm sure, a thought process that I'm just not familiar with. When I can dive her down and all that stuff, I tend to like to do it. And
But Windfox is doing left side.
So we'll find out.
I mean, this could be big for Windfox if something's back here.
Mortal Core is headed to the back of Skullwoods from the looks of things. And we're just about to find out about left side here. That's one. We could have a big key, in which case we gotta wait a little longer, but
Yeah.
Yep.
Vanilla big key, of course. Windfox, stop bonking.
So much fun, though.
I mean, I know he's in 40 bonks, but still.
So there's Azure with the waterfall place. So it's $20. So no good on left side, unfortunately.
Yeah, Swamp is a big old bust, so pretty much has to be Skullwoods or Pyramid Ferry.
Say Azure was, I thought going to go back for the fire rod, but
Oh no, it doesn't have right. It could be Green Pendant Ice, which is now in Logic.
I mean, you still pick up fire rod before you come in here, don't you?
You would think. And that's Moth down. I did not see what Moth dropped.
Replay machine got ahead of me. I missed it as well.
Just 10 arrows.
That's okay. So 10 arrows and 1 rupee from before.
So yeah. So we've emptied out Skullwoods.
We're going to be buying a big bomb here, I think, real quick.
Yeah. As Windfox takes down Argus. And there's one item in ice, just a heart container.
I don't know. I'll say Azure maybe doesn't. Maybe does just want to get the fire out just yet. He knows he can do Ice Palace with the Bombos and Tempered Sword, no problem. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to get it at some point, but you have to walk over to that one warp and then all the way back.
Given that we haven't found Lamp or Half Magic, Tempered Sword is pretty big for the Ganon fight.
So left side with his 2 was a whole bunch of nothing. Here comes...
Have we seen
more.
Hobo yet? Windfox is doing it. I can't remember if anyone else has.
Yeah, I am not 100%, but I want to say probably. And there's a flute.
So that puts all our Death Mountain stuff in logic and also gets us to Mire Area and Desert. And yes, that is in fact Immortal Core's Go mode even.
Yeah, I was looking at it, but yeah, you get Mire access, but thankfully don't have to go in.
Yeah, I mean, do you check Mire's shed just in case silvers show up, or do you not even bother with that?
I probably would. I don't see them doing it though.
And yet, despite all this, Lamp is still logically required for us to have finished Pod.
Yeah, I was trying to think when you putting the mountain in logic. Well, to get to this point, how many dark rooms did we have to do? Well, outside of crystals, none. But it'll be right here on Cold Stair. Like, seems to happen here and there, maybe. Or the green pendant.
So Koi not bothering with Desert Ledge, not bothering with Mire Shed. He's just gonna get that big key and go to Ganon.
Whatever that was right under the key HUD. It might have been a key, actually. Dropped by Cold Stair.
I think it was a key.
Okay.
Cat Tracker thinks it's whatever. Hey, there's Half Magic. That was a nice thing to find.
In case the torch glitch goes funky on you, that's nice.
Yeah, now we're gonna have plenty of Fire Rod shots.
There's Asher now seeing the island and doing a real darn quick 180. But headed for that green pendant first and might just pick up that warp instead to get access to the island.
So Koi should easily be under 115 here. Maybe 112-ish.
I guess it is kind of a long walk out of Saha's little ditch there, so save and quit and take this one again. Grab that fire rod, go to Skullwoods, do the things. So Ferris Asher over there was leading for the biggest chunk of this seed, but came down to some choices, and it looks like Immortal Koi has got a comfortable lead. It was first to go mode. About what would you say it was 105 now? Something like that.
Yeah, the choice was that Asher inexplicably did not check Lake Hylia Island en route to doing Pendant Ice, and did all of Pendant Ice not knowing that the Fire Rod was sitting on Lake Hylia Island.
Appreciate that, Ferris. I get that. I've gotten that most of my life, and then I tell people I'm not, it's not something I've been meaning to do, but now here I am, calling video games.
Mine DM also has a bit of a radio voice.
Yeah, I'm Scupula, and Drossie's beside me here today. Face radio.
So, I guess Mind DM is checking Dark Death Mountain to see if he's in go mode?
Yeah, probably. Fair bet. You have one medallion at least, so.
Unfortunately for him, the answer is no. But Windfox is about to get his go mode.
And of course, Mind M's still looking for things like the flute too, so he probably figures these bunch of checks are not a bad bet. Fast Ganon, I heard. Here's Ganon. Just like that. Of course, I guess when I said comfortable lead about a minute ago, she said, yeah, he's going to win. No GT definitely changes things.
Yeah, and Koi is already on phase 3. So we are going to soon find out that the Silvers were probably in GT.
Did you find the arrows in my tower? No. Why would I?
Of course, in my tower, as we were just saying. So that's the thing about Fast Ganon, you are never getting those silver arrows.
Yeah, right now we're all just happy that there weren't 3 swords in there.
Nice triples from Koi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just doing work. It's gonna have this wrapped up within the next 30 seconds, including the bridge fanfare time.
So right about 112 as I was estimating. And get your GGs in for Immortal Koi.
A good solid run on the 6-6 seed, I'll tell you that.
And he finishes first on the restream and first overall with an official race time of 1:11:50.
See if we can get him in here to have a chat, but I mean, that was solid. And Fox is going to go ahead and take care of the land mode and get their 6th and final crystal. My Indium is... Wasn't he just up here?
Ashter has prioritized left side swamp over Pyramid Fairy?
Yeah, I mean...
That's a little surprising. I mean, they're both 2 items, and Pyramid Fairy's a whole lot quicker.
You know, if I say this and I'm wrong, I'm sorry to everybody, but I wonder if it has to do with the dot done in the room.
Oh, if he might be metagaming off the dot done.
Yeah.
Possible.
Since he skipped it before and all that. But... Oh, my name came up with Ether. Where was that?
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, well, that's not good, but you get to see what was in there. I missed the ped from the credits, actually. Sorry.
I'm gonna see if we can get Koi in here. I haven't seen any sign of him.
Hello, GG.
Oh, here he is. Okay, of course. Right as I'm starting to wonder where you are, GG.
GG. That was fun seed.
Yeah, what do you think of that whole logic chain and item chain?
Yeah, it was weird. I wanted to set myself up to where I had to go to the back of Thieves Town, so that kind of worked out good. And then just kind of followed the items after that, and it was like everything just led to the go mode.
I forget, you single dipped Thieves Town?
Yeah, I did it towards the end. Like I had a few other stuff, but yeah, I tried to put it off until I was basically forcing myself to go to the back.
Yeah, which worked out pretty nicely then.
Yeah, I think Azure did that as well, but and a couple other zonks in terms of finding items is doing left side now. Skipped it in the first place, but
Oh, and here's Windfox on his phase 3 Ganon. Oh, nope, still phase 2, didn't quite get the 1-on-1. But hopefully he'll be joining us too shortly. But yeah, I'm curious, what were you thinking about, like, or were you thinking about the fact that the mountain was out of logic the whole time?
Yeah, that was also on my mind because I was thinking like hookshot and whatever else I got was all lamp or flute locked. And when I got mitts, I didn't want to sequence break it again. I wanted to see if it was going to be lamp or flute. It ended up being the flute. So
I guess logically this could have taken a lot longer. As deep as that flute was.
yeah,
We have absolutely no idea about the lamp, and I don't think we ever will. But
Yeah.
yeah, it could be anywhere pretty much.
The lamp could be in Mire. Oh, Windfox takes a Ganon fall!
you hate to see it. We can knock a fairy out of the tree and try again. This won't be too bad, at least for the purposes of restream. But
Meanwhile, that Ganon fall did cost Windfox second place, as Shire has finished off screen with 116.34.
yeah, it was. Yeah. would that have been enough to do it, or would he have still been a little bit behind? I wonder.
Not sure. I don't know exactly how many spins he was in. He might have been, very slightly behind anyway.
Yeah, doesn't feel good, of course.
And Astor just does not want to do Pyramid Fairy. Oh, that's where Ether was. Okay, well, guess Astor's not doing Pyramid Fairy then. And he's just gonna do TR like Mind DM.
TR's got stuff like all the time, so with Fire and Ice Rod being available, it's not a bad play.
Koi, aren't you glad you did Pyramid Fairy though?
Yeah, I felt like I kind of had to because I had put off Pyramid and Catfish, and I just wanted to follow the logic too. So I was like, I need to just do that before sequence breaking the mountain again. Where was Ice Rod?
Waterfall Cave.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I didn't do that because if I had Ice Rod, I probably would have went up to TR and see if I had access.
Yeah, you were the only one of our restreamed runners who didn't find it. Oh, and I don't think I realized Cape was on Floating Island this whole time.
Yeah, and the Cape had locked Berna. It really made me think of Spike Cave. But I didn't want to get out of logic anymore without the flitter lamp.
Yeah, running those mitts clear to the end of the game, I guess, was basically the story of this, which, it's ended up being the right play here. And it's always nice whenever the item chain, stays intact, I guess, I think.
Okay, Windfox has to be careful here, though. He took a fire bat to the face and is down to 2 hearts.
Well, you won't have to shave.
As Mind DM picks up his fifth crystal on Trinex, he still needs to go back and finish off Moth before he can do Ganon.
Yeah, and I guess I totally forgot that that's a thing you can do and just not do desert.
But get your GGs in for Windfox, who will cross the bridge with an official race time of 1:19:29, good for second on the restream and third overall.
Yeah, that's not bad. There's 10 people in this race, all told, and they're all pretty good. No
Yeah.
lie, so.
I mean, I think the big difference in time is going to be who does desert versus who does TR.
Mm-hmm.
I would bet money that Shire did desert, for instance, even though I wasn't watching his stream or anything.
Right.
And we're joined by Windfox. GG.
GG, Quay.
GG.
So, you obviously made it back into Thieves Town relatively quickly, but can you talk us through like how you were approaching the Village of Outcasts area when you got there and were pretty low on checks?
I figured I was just going to, knowing Thieves Town was a pendant, I was only going to check the front if there are 2 or more items in the front. And I found those 2 items. I was like, okay, let's just go do the rest of South Dark World. You know, I was anticipating hopefully finding a fire rod in there, or at least in the South Dark World. Didn't pay off, and eventually just had to go back for that last location, Titan's Mitts, which had the boots, which led to something else.
Yeah, it was mitts to powder to boots to mushroom to flippers.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a good one. It's a bit of a doozy. But
And then the flippers were locking the fire rod, and the fire rod was locking the flute, and that was how you were supposed to get up Death Mountain.
I mean, 10 minutes Death Mountain? No. Like, why not? I'm just like, oh look, I have glove, I have a hook shot, I have a mirror, I have a hammer. Why not do the entire thing? Because if you find the Titan's Mitts, well, that puts Hookshot Cave up there as well.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, there are definitely many a seed where Mountain gets done out of logic because you can.
Well, and Windfox, I don't know if you caught this since you were obviously racing yourself, but our 2 runners on the restream who aren't finished yet managed to find Ether in Spike Cave, which they have enough hearts to just cheese on hearts, and that put them into Turtle Rock, and they wound up doing that instead of Desert.
Oh, yeah, I figured if I didn't find the flute in Pyramid Fairy, I was going to go back up the mountain and do Hookshot Cave and all that into Spike Cave and probably Turtle Rock. Like that was my plan. So if it wasn't there, then I was going to end up in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it makes sense. It was really a question of, how quickly you follow the mitts to Dark Death Mountain versus following that crazy item chain from the Smiths.
I guess, this looks, I guess, good anyway as an option to do TR since, well, a bunch of people are doing it. Because even without that cape, we can get the cape, so this is all logical. They just happen to say to heck with it and brute force Spike Cave, and yeah.
And meanwhile, Mind DM is going to drop in on Ganon here. And we have got a whole spate of finishes in a very short amount of time since Windfox finished.
Yeah,
Joss, Hitman 1382, Polar Bear Bunny, and Cassidy Moen are 4, 5, and 6. All in the span of about 4 minutes. 4, 5, 6, and 7, sorry.
That's 7. And Joss is with us here in chat, bringing his Raiders with him, so GG's. So Joss, I guess, did TR, didn't come up with a flute.
Yes, Joss did TR a lot faster than everyone else who took the TR route. I'm curious, Joss, did you just go into Spike Cave relatively early? And Mindium did not get the torch glitch, and where was that half magic? Oh yeah, it was in desert, right. So if you didn't do desert, you don't have half magic. So he's actually in a little bit of trouble not getting the torch glitch. Now Ashter's final... Has Ashter forgotten this is 6-6? Or is this just a matter of principle?
Maybe matter of principle. I don't know.
He's not going to be a real happy camper in about a minute.
I will say my Ganon fall, the second I took that fire bat, I knew I was going down. Because the second it hit me, I realized I was holding the right button. I was just like, yep, I'm falling. Nothing I can do about it.
I hate that.
Sometimes I swear I let go of the button and it knocks you through anyway, so I don't know.
I was worried your second time through when you took that fire bat to the face. And then it was like, well, if you take another hit... Or you might have had a fairy.
He's just taking the bomb into the hole and I go faster.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I wonder if maybe he just like realized on the way. I don't know. This is kind of devolving a bit here.
Well, get your GGs in for Mind DM in any case. So he finishes third on the restream, 8th overall, 126.07. Right behind him is Lenofis, 126.28.
Yeah, this is a pretty good example of a 6-6 for everybody to see it. You have a choice a lot of times as far as which crystals you do, and we've had some of each here on and off the stream. So,
and Mindium's in the waiting room, so when we get him up here, yeah, we've got him. GG. If you're talking, we can't hear you.
All right, how about now?
Yes, there we go.
Okay, GG. Where are my other 7 or 8 progression items that I feel like I'm still missing?
Pyramid Fairy for flute.
All right. I idly considered bringing the bomb there, actually, just for the lulz.
Azure did.
I really don't blame him. That was not a seed that was really attuned to my playstyle. I'll say that much.
I'm a bit surprised you. I mean, I guess once you got the... Well, why don't you talk through, like, your thought process after you got the fire rod, because I have a guess as to kind of what was going through your head.
right before you do, real quick, some GGs for Asher. They're finishing with a time of 127.50.
And that concludes the race.
Yeah, go ahead, mind you.
Yeah, I figured that I had an even chance of just, finishing the 2 crystal dungeons I could finish, and probably was just going to find a book or something in TR, and then I could decide whether I liked Skull Woods or Desert better. I mean, there wasn't really anything deeper to it than that.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, while you were up on the mountain, seeing if you could get into TR, you cleared the whole mountain. And we're also joined by Astor here. GG.
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 Race time is popping off. Where's the lamp? Where's the flute? Some people know, some people don't. Where's the other thing?
I assume the lamp is in Ice Palace. That's about the only place left that it can be.
Yeah, it's
It's
I think-
not. I
Yeah.
assumed it was in Pyramid Fairy. But apparently I was wrong about that.
Meyer then?
Yeah, I'm guessing Meyer. Or at least Meyer area.
It is a popular spot whenever you can get past things not having it.
So the flute can't be in the Mire, or the lamp can't be in the Mire area because it was lamp locked by Eastern Palace because of the flute.
Oh.
Wait,
Are you sure?
Wait.
Is the Eastern Palace Vanilla Big Key location, wasn't that an empty bottle?
Yes.
yeah, so Eastern only logically required that fire
Oh.
rod.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fire Rod
yeah.
was logical Eastern.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Could have been in Ganon's Tower, I think. Wait, no. Could it? Yeah, it could have.
The lamp?
Yeah.
No, you needed it
No.
logically for pod.
Let's
And
If you needed
TR.
it logically for pod, you needed it logically for
else?
TR.
Oh, and for tier. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
say if it's just one, then yeah, but
Yeah, needing it for 2 was how we knew early on that the fire rod was going to have to show up at some point.
I should have seen it like 15 minutes in, but
Yeah,
I
we were
have
sup-
the bad habit of not checking the islands. It's worse when I'm taking the Dark World there.
I'm glad I checked it before Swamp.
I should have checked it before doing ice. That was a big mistake.
I blind checked it before ice. I was going to do Hylia Island, Hobo, and then just go into ice because I was figuring that's where the progression actually was, and then I landed on a fire rod and everything changed.
Yeah, me and DM, I did the exact same thing. I did Swamp Palace and just YOLO'd the island, and I was like, oh, Fire Rod, I can go do Swamp Palace or Skull Woods, and then
And that was nothing.
I mean, the island is something I can say if I don't wind up checking it in the first 5 to 10 minutes. It just doesn't exist. I forget about it.
Been playing too many boots modes. I only check that when I have boots and I water walk.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, and I know we've been. This has been coming up in chat and race time and all this, but book on Ped just for the lulz, I guess.
Oh, cool.
So you can
Not going to desert
I
that
was-
way.
I was kind of hoping that Book would show up in like the first chest of Turtle Rock or something and let me do desert instead.
Yeah, then just bail and go to desert.
Yeah, would have been nice.
So yeah.
so
What
I'm
else?
gonna guess I went to the mountain well before everybody else did.
Yes, you were the first one up there. Asher was actually the first to find the mirror, but he then continued doing lower Hyrule stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah, actually, right. I forgot about that twist early in the race that, Asher and Windfox, you guys did escape relatively early, and Koi and Mine DM, you only got that mirror when you were starting to run out of options. Can you talk about, like, your thoughts on escape?
I knew it was in logic because of the key in the back, and I figured I had a shot at getting Zora money from it. So I did it first.
Yeah, actually, Asher, you had a nice heads-up play, too, there, skipping Dark Cross and doing the front first, and then realizing you didn't even need to think about Dark Cross.
Yeah.
I did that, but I figured I was going to get punished, and so I threw my fairy away with 2 checks left.
I was just trying to avoid going to VOO until I had to. So the mirror kind of helped with that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, usually I'll put off escape for a while, but I wanted to, like, force myself to do the back of Thieves Town when I got there, so I just tried to do as much as I could before going to VOO.
Yeah, imagine actually committing dependent thieves in this game. That must have made life so much easier.
Yeah, I think the best anybody here on or off likely did is, try to do it last, as opposed to like what would have been real good is, getting there early and doing it completely the first time. I mean, that would have been not a characteristic play, but it would have paid out in this case with the mitts being down there. It's just it's a hard sell with a pendant, even with a hammer. So
Did we find a fourth sword?
negative, probably GT.
Yeah. We were just expecting the silvers to be in GT by the time you guys got to Ganon.
And they were.
Yup.
Oh, they were in GT?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, oh god.
Oh, you didn't see the message?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I was glad I had that green potion in my back pocket, and I knew I did. Otherwise, I would have tried to be a little more insistent on that fire rod shot. That input got eaten just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It felt good to have half magic.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
where
went
was that?
Desert.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I honestly Koi and I got really lucky finding that as Desert as our last one. Because neither of us, I don't think, touched Turtle Rock.
Well, and with the desert big key being vanilla, you wound up getting both items en route to finding the big key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really nice finding that. It was nice climbing the mountain only once too. For me at least.
So
Yeah, I forget, Windfox, did you go back to the mountain?
No, I just did that one trip, like 10 to 12 minutes in, and that was it.
Yeah. I guess that was the thing, because once you're going back to the mountain with mitts, you're doing everything, including Spike Cave, which then gets you into GR.
Yeah.
So Polar Bear Bunny, our 6th place finisher here today, giving us some information, continuing to run the seed, because why not? Last orders in checkerboard. Cave. Still no word on the lamp yet, but that's where the fourth sword was, she said.
Looks like Lamp was Spike, Chess, and Meyer.
Gross.
Oh,
Ew.
yeah, we were figuring it's probably in that area, so yeah.
That's pretty much par for the course for this seed.
Yeah.
I felt really good. 2 minutes in when I walked down to the dam and pulled the hammer? I thought, hey, this might be a nice seed. Nope, every other play went the wrong way for me.
I mean, if you, took the right gambles, it was probably something that someone could do in about an hour or so if they made all the right plays. That is not spoiler log, but, just kind of combining Ashdur's early game with Koi's late game, you could probably get someone finishing in about an hour or so.
Yeah, so you'd probably have to, get Thieves Town access and then go straight through it, and then, maybe have a shot at something like that.
I think the problem with that is then you get up the mountain with the mitts and you're probably doing everything while you're there instead of just making the one trip that you actually kind of had to make, I guess.
Yeah, I did have that thought. Anything that opens up a lot of things means you do a lot of things, but...
See, I should have done Spike Cave when I was first up there too, but I was like, no, I don't want to grab the cape. That's too slow, and I can't make it otherwise. And I forgot I had the fairy, and I remembered later. And I was like, okay, well, I hope it's nothing. And then it was something. but that I needed, except I kind of sort of didn't, and I would have been better off if I didn't find it.
Yeah, it's nice not to find that.
Ah, well, that's Rando for you. Good game again, everybody. Draw C Scoop, thanks for comms. Maddie Walker, Jinxie, thanks for tracking.
Yeah, Indian, I know you used to calm a lot in the past. Sounds like you got new equipment.
I did, in fact, get new equipment.
It's coming through nice and clear. So we'll see you back in here someday. I don't know.
It's
One of these first days.
it's real good on the ears after a race.
And of course, thanks again to the runners, and please do give them a follow. And once again, shouting out our very long-standing experienced trackers tonight, Maddie Walker and Jinxie Girl. And of course, Scupula, nice working with you.
Yeah, as well.
And we are running these, every weekday we try to kind of rotate between 2 p.m., 9 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern. And then we have Sunday open mode at 5:30 every Sunday. So be sure to check out more of the daily races, and anyone's welcome to participate or sign up to calm or track. You can join in any way you want.
It all runs through the Discord. Is the fastest way to get all that information out to you. Exclamation Discord and chat, I believe we'll cover that. And besides that, looks like we have a whole lot of Invitational League going on tomorrow. As far as ALTTPR goes, I don't see much else, but it's from noon Eastern to... We got noon, we got a 1, we got a 4 o'clock.
Yeah, on Speed Gaming 3, Speed Gaming 2, and Speed Gaming 5, respectively. So be sure to give the whole Speed Gaming family of channels a follow if you aren't already.
There's other things going on as well. We got Pokemon Gold and Silver. We have Azure Dreams. We have Metroid Prime 2 Randomizer. Metroid Prime 1 Randomizer. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Whatever you like, here it is. So, about 1:45 on the East Coast. I'm going to get up on out of here. So, thank you to 4 runners, Azure, Windfox, Immortal Koi, and my Indian for putting themselves out here today. And thank you to Drosy for calming with me here tonight.
And thanks to you all for watching, and have a great weekend.